Welcome back to the channel. Grab your iced coffee and settle in, because the internet is currently on fire, and Hollywood's untouchable golden boy is officially facing his very first massive cancellation wave. I am talking about the kind of career-shaking public relations crisis that makes publicists sweat through their designer suits. Timothée Chalamet, the artsy prince of cinema, has stepped right into a massive controversy over some incredibly elitist comments, and the blowback is so severe that it is reportedly causing a massive, tense rift with his billionaire girlfriend, Kylie Jenner. The timing of this could not be worse, considering we are right in the middle of awards season, and he is up for a major statue. But what has the internet absolutely spiraling is how the fans are pointing fingers, tearing apart his relationship, and wondering if the infamous Kardashian Curse has finally claimed its most critically acclaimed victim yet. Are we witnessing the downfall of a generational talent? Or is this just the internet doing what it does best and overreacting? Whose side are you on right out of the gate? Let me know your initial thoughts in the comments below while we unpack this absolute mess. To truly understand the sheer magnitude of this scandal, we have to rewind and look at the lore of Timothée Chalamet. For years, this man was completely bulletproof. He was the indie darling who broke our hearts on screen, the literature-reading intellectual who seamlessly transitioned into global blockbusters without ever losing that prestigious high art aura. He was the actor who made traditional Hollywood glamour cool again for a younger generation. His fan base was fiercely protective, viewing him as a fragile artist who lived purely for the craft. But then, the timeline shifted a couple of years ago when he was officially spotted with Kylie Jenner. The internet practically short-circuited. The crossover between the highbrow cinema world and the reality television empire felt like a glitch in the Matrix. Fans were utterly baffled. How could the boy who quotes classic poetry date the queen of lip kits and social media aesthetics? Yet, against all odds, they stayed together, making rare but highly publicized appearances, and seemingly proving the haters wrong. However, a vocal fraction of his fandom never accepted it, waiting in the shadows for any sign that the reality television lifestyle was corrupting their precious indie king. And oh boy, did he just hand them the ultimate ammunition on a silver platter. Let us do a minute-by-minute breakdown of the exact incident that set this entire wildfire ablaze. It all started during a high-profile town hall event hosted by CNN and Variety at a university in Texas. The room is packed, cameras are rolling, and Timothee is sitting on stage alongside fellow actor Matthew McConaughey. The topic of conversation naturally drifts toward the state of the entertainment industry, specifically how rapidly shrinking attention spans are affecting theatrical releases. Timothee starts off sounding very diplomatic, discussing how some audiences just want quick entertainment, while others still appreciate a slow burn. But then, at exactly the 49-minute mark of the discussion, he takes a completely unprovoked, sharp left turn. He states that he admires people who go on talk shows and campaign to keep movie theaters alive. But then, in a moment of completely unfiltered audacity, he says he does not want to be working in ballet or opera, or in places where people are begging the public to keep the art form alive even though, quote, no one cares about this anymore. He chuckles, adding all respect to the ballet and opera people out there, and jokes that he just lost 14 cents in viewership. It was meant to be a throwaway quip, a cheeky bit of self-deprecation. But the delivery was so incredibly smug, so dripping with mainstream Hollywood privilege, that it immediately sent shockwaves through the room and, within hours, across the entire global arts community. The immediate fallout was not just a few angry posts. It was a mobilized, institutional strike against his reputation. You have to remember that ballet and opera are foundational pillars of performance art, fields where performers train until their bodies break for a fraction of the paycheck Hollywood actors receive. Almost instantly, the Royal Ballet and Opera in London released a statement, passively aggressively reminding the actor that thousands of people gather every single night for the sheer magic of live performance, and openly inviting him to their doors so he could educate himself. The English National Opera offered him free tickets to change his mind, but it did not stop with polite invitations. Famed conductor Gustavo Dudamel took the stage at the New York Philharmonic and publicly rebuked the actor, calling his remarks pure ignorance to a round of roaring applause. Broadway stars, classical musicians, and independent dancers flooded social media with video essays, calling him narrow-minded and accusing him of tearing down other artistic disciplines just to elevate his own movie star ego. The consensus was brutal. Timothee had revealed himself to be out of touch, arrogant, and perfectly willing to sacrifice the struggles of working-class artists for a cheap laugh during a press tour. But here is where the story shifts from a standard Hollywood foot-and-mouth moment to a massive, messy pop culture crisis. While the traditional arts community was coming for his neck, the internet sleuths and hardcore fans on platforms like TikTok and X pivoted their rage directly toward Kylie Jenner. The narrative flipped almost instantly. Instead of holding a 30-year-old man accountable for his own words, thousands of viral posts started pushing the theory that Kylie had completely eroded his artistic integrity. People were commenting things like, "He spends too much time with billionaires who only care about profit," or "The Kardashian Curse has officially ruined his brain." And as if the universe has a wicked sense of irony, on the exact same day this backlash hit critical mass, Vanity Fair dropped a massive, glowing cover story featuring none other than Kylie herself. In the interview, she is blushing, talking about how much she loves her partner, discussing their high-stakes private poker nights, and mentioning her desire to have more children before she turns 30. It was supposed to be a triumphant press victory for the couple. Instead, the juxtaposition was catastrophic. On one timeline, you have Kylie flexing her immense wealth and domestic bliss, and on the other, her boyfriend is being publicly eviscerated for acting like a rich, out-of-touch elitist. The comment sections on the Vanity Fair posts turned into absolute war zones. Do you think it is fair that the internet is blaming his girlfriend for his own spoken words, or is the Kardashian curse actually real? Drop your thoughts down below because I am genuinely fascinated by how quickly the fandom turned on her. Now, we are looking at the behind-the-scenes fallout, and insider sources are painting a very bleak picture. According to blind items and tabloid leaks circulating over the last 48 hours, the vibe inside the couple's Hidden Hills compound is incredibly tense. Timothee is reportedly spiraling. He is a perfectionist who has meticulously curated his public image for a decade, and watching respected figures in the classical arts call him ignorant is allegedly taking a massive psychological toll. Sources claim he is extremely stressed, defensive, and feeling completely misunderstood. Meanwhile, Kylie is allegedly frustrated that her major magazine moment was completely eclipsed by his bad press, and she is supposedly exhausted by his fans constantly using her as the scapegoat for his mistakes. Public relations experts are speculating that Timothee's team might be pressuring him to create some distance from the reality star aesthetic, at least until the storm passes. This brings us to a major relationship crossroads. Would you break up with your partner if their entire fan base constantly blamed you for everything going wrong in their life? Comment below, because this sounds like a total nightmare for anyone's mental well-being. Finally, we have to talk about the catastrophic timing and what this means for the trajectory of his career. We are just days away from the 98th Academy Awards, which are scheduled for the middle of March 2026. Timothee is nominated for his third Oscar for his starring role in Marty Supreme. Before this week, he was considered a beloved frontrunner, the golden boy who could do no wrong. But the Academy is largely made up of older, traditional artists, many of whom deeply respect or have roots in the theater, ballet, and classical music worlds. Alienating the theater kids and the classical arts community right as voters are filling out their final ballots is a monumental, unforced error. Will it cost him the golden statue? It is entirely possible. The industry does not like actors who punch down at other art forms. Beyond the awards, this incident shatters the illusion of the humble, suffering artist that Timothee sold to the world. He has exposed a layer of Hollywood elitism that audiences are becoming increasingly sick of. Moving forward, every single time he tries to promote an independent or artsy project, people will be armed with the receipts of him claiming no one cares about classical art. His publicists are going to have to work overtime to orchestrate an apology tour, perhaps forcing him to sit front row at Swan Lake and pretend he is having the time of his life. But until then, the internet continues to feast on the drama, the fans continue to fight, and Hollywood's most talked about couple is facing their ultimate test. Hit that subscribe button so you do not miss the follow-up when he inevitably posts a scripted apology, and I will see you in the next video.